topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Welcome to Powerful Business Strategies, where you will find out that everything you have ever learned about growing your business is wrong. Finally, a show where you'll learn the right way to grow your business by learning business and financial strategies that your competition isn't doing. And now, here is your host, President of Next Step CFO, Michael Barbarita. And joining Michael for today's show as an executive moderator is Chuki Obiyo.
Yes, this is Chuki, and I believe that gratitude is undefeated and growth is about the next step. It is an honor for me to moderate today's discussion with my good friend, Michael. Michael, how are you?
Fantastic, Chuki. And my name is Michael Barbarita, president of Next Step CFO. And Next Step CFO is a fractional CFO and strategic implementation firm. Business owners hire us to double and triple their profit using business and financial strategies that their competition isn't doing. And our vision is to ensure overwhelmed business owners achieve consistent profits that leads to the time freedom to build a legacy and the life that they desire. Our mission is dedicated to guiding small business owners to leveraging their time, exploding their profits, and building a meaningful legacy. The show Powerful Business Strategies and our book of the same name is a step toward accomplishing that vision and mission. So with that, I'd like to hand it back to my co-author and moderator for the show, Chuki Obiyo.
Michael, this is episode 50. I feel so inspired by the insights that we've packed in today's episode. So the title is The Final Formula, the Ultimate Blueprint for Business Transformation That Changes Everything. Before we get started, a quick disclaimer. Look, Michael and I are both affiliated with a number of different organizations. I currently serve as the Managing Director of Business Development for Vedder Price, a global business-focused law firm. In addition to that, it's truly an honor to collaborate with Michael to moderate business roundtables, coast to coast, and really document the insights as part of our book, Powerful Business Strategies. So please note, the views expressed on this show are our personal views born out of these very successful experiences. My mission as a fearless moderator is to ask the right questions to help you, the listener, learn the best business strategies that the competition isn't doing. With that, back over to Michael.
Thank you, Chuki. So welcome to the final episode of Powerful Business Strategies. And today, I want to ask you a question that'll define your next decade. What if I told you that in the next hour, you're going to learn a complete system that could be worth millions of dollars to your business? And what if everything we've taught over the past year could be distilled into one ultimate formula that transforms struggling businesses into profit powerhouses? Well, today on our final show, we're not holding anything back. We're revealing the ultimate business transformation blueprint and the exact system that has helped our clients generate business success. And this isn't theory. This isn't motivation. This is the real deal. And if you've been waiting for the perfect moment to transform your business, this is it. If you've been looking for that missing piece that ties everything together, you're about to find it. And if you're ready to finally build a business that serves your life instead of consuming it, the next hour will change everything for you. And this is your moment. This is your blueprint. So let's make it count. So over the past year, we've covered dozens of powerful business strategies. We've talked about position of market dominance. We've talked about the conversion formula, cash flow mastery, confident decision making, and so much more. But here's what I've realized. Information without implementation is worthless. See, most business owners suffer from what I call strategy overload syndrome. They know a dozen different ways to grow their business, but they're not implementing any of them effectively, if at all. And they're like someone with a toolbox of professional grade tools, but no blueprint for building the house. And that's why on today's final show, I'm going to give you that ultimate blueprint. The exact sequence and system for implementing these strategies in the right order at the right time for maximum impact. So let me start with a quick story that illustrates everything wrong with how most business owners approach growth. So last year, I met a contractor, call him Robert, at a business conference, and he'd invested over $50,000 in business education courses, coaching programs, mastermind groups, you name it. And Robert could tell you all about sales funnels, digital marketing, employee retention strategies, financial management, and operational systems, and everything else under the business book. But he had notebooks full of strategies, and his computer was loaded with templates and worksheets. But here's the problem. His business was still struggling. Revenue was flat. He was working 70-hour weeks. His cash was unpredictable, and he was more stressed than when he started learning all these strategies. And when I asked Robert what he was implementing, he said, I'm trying to do everything. I'm working on my marketing, improving my sales process, implementing new systems, managing cash flow better, and trying to hire people all at the same time. Well, there lies the problem. Because Robert was trying to fix everything simultaneously instead of following a systematic approach that builds success upon success.
Man, Michael, this sounds so compelling. But look, it's a problem that many business owners face. I mean, what's the solution?
Well, Chuki, the solution is what I call this ultimate business transformation blueprint. It's a systematic, step-by-step approach that ensures that you implement the right strategies in the right order for maximum impact. And here's the key insight. Business transformation doesn't happen by doing everything at once. It happens by doing the right things in the right order, building momentum as you go. It's like building a house. You don't start with the roof, or you don't start with the plumbing or the electrical and the landscaping all at once. You start with the foundation, and then the framing, and then the systems, and finally the finishing touches. Each phase builds upon the previous one. And so the same principle applies to business transformation. There's a specific sequence that works when you follow it, and the results are dramatic and sustainable. And this ultimate business blueprint transformation has 5 phases, and I'm going to walk you through each one today. So phase 1 is foundation building. This is where you establish the critical systems and the mindsets that everything else depends on. Phase 2, revenue acceleration. This is where you implement the strategies that have the biggest immediate impact on cash flow, and sales. Phase 3, operational excellence. This is where you build the systems that allow you to scale without the chaos. Phase 4, market dominance. This is where you implement the strategies that separate you from all the competition. And then phase 5 is legacy building. This is when you create a business that runs without you and build long-term value and scale. Each phase has specific strategies, specific timelines, and specific success metrics. And here's the critical part. You don't move to the next phase until you successfully completed the current one.
Step by step, right, Michael? Next
That's
step.
right.
So look,
That's
this
right.
is a systematic approach that makes so much sense. Can you give us an overview, Michael, of just what makes each phase essential?
Certainly. And so each phase serves a specific purpose and solves a specific set of problems. So phase 1 is foundation building. It solves what I call the chaos problem. Most businesses are built on shaky foundations, poor financial systems, unclear decision-making process, no strategic planning, and reactive management. Can't build sustainable growth on a weak foundation. Phase 2, revenue acceleration, solves the cash flow problem. Once your foundation is solid, you need immediate revenue growth to fund further improvements and provide breathing room for strategic thinking. Phase 3, operational excellence, solves the scaling problem. So many business owners can generate revenue but can't scale efficiently. And this phase builds the systems that allow growth without proportional increases in stress and complexity. Phase 4, market dominance, solves the competition problem. This is where you implement the strategies that make you the obvious choice in your market, allowing you to command premium prices and attract ideal customers. Phase 5, legacy building. Solves the exit strategy problem. This creates a business that has value beyond your personal involvement, whether you want to sell it, pass it on, or simply step back from the day-to-day operations and continue to scale. The beauty of this system is that each phase makes the next phase easier and more effective. The foundation you build in phase 1 makes the revenue strategies in phase 2 more powerful. The operational systems in phase 3 amplify the market dominance strategies in phase 4. Now, most business owners try to jump to phase 4 or 5 without completing the earlier phases, and that's where things fall apart and strategies don't work. They're trying to build market dominance without operational excellence or create legacy value without sustainable revenue systems. So let's dive a little deeper into phase 1, foundation building. This is where most business owners want to skip ahead, but it's absolutely critical for everything that follows. And foundation building has 4 core components. I call them the 4 pillars of business success: financial clarity, decision frameworks, strategic planning, and mindset mastery. So let's start with financial clarity. I can't emphasize this enough. You can't manage what you don't measure. And we've said this a lot. And you can't measure what you don't understand. Yet 80% of business owners I meet don't know their basic financial numbers. And in our business assessments, we ask 3 simple questions. We ask what your sales are, your gross profit, and your net, your gross profit percent, and your net income percentage. 4 out of 5 business owners cannot answer these questions with any kind of confidence. And this isn't about being an accountant. This is about understanding the financial levers that drive your business. You need to know your vital 5: sales, gross profit percent, net profit, and your current cash balance. These numbers should be on your memory all the time. But beyond knowing the numbers, you need systems for tracking and analyzing them. And this means monthly financial statements completed within 15 days of the month end, weekly cash flow reports, and monthly metrics reviews. A restaurant owner who was constantly stressed about money, but couldn't tell me if his business was profitable, when he finally implemented proper financial tracking, he discovered he was actually losing $3 on every lunch special he sold. And he thought he was generating revenue, but he was actually destroying profit with every sale. And once he had financial clarity, he could make the intelligent decisions about pricing, menu design, and cost management. Within 90 days, he turned that $3 loss into a $7 profit per lunch special, adding $100,000 to his bottom line. And the second pillar is decision frameworks. As we discussed last week, most business owners suffer from decision paralysis, or they make decisions randomly without systematic thinking. So in phase 1, you establish clear frameworks for different types of decisions. For example, any expense under $1,000 that improves customer experience gets automatic approval. It doesn't have to be $1,000, could be some other smaller number or a bigger number. Any marketing investment under $5,000 that could generate 3 times ROI within 6 months gets automatic approval. Any process change that could save more than 5 hours per week gets immediate implementation. So, and you can change all those numbers, those parameters. But having pre-established frameworks eliminates the mental energy wasted on recurring decisions and ensures consistency in your business operations.
This is interesting. Michael, so this foundation work sounds crucial, but also potentially overwhelming. How do business owners tackle this step by step without getting bogged down?
Yeah, that's legitimate concern. I think the key is to implement these foundations systematically over 90 days and not all at once. So week 1 and 2 would be financial clarity, getting your bookkeeping established with weekly financial reporting. Weeks 3 and 4 are your decision frameworks. Document your criteria for the 5 most common decisions that you face. Week 5 to 8, strategic planning. Complete your business and cash flow forecast for the next 12 months. Week 9 to 12, mindset mastery. Implement the confident decision-making practices that we discussed last week, and I believe the week before as well. Each week builds on the previous week, and by the end of the 90 days, you have a rock-solid foundation that supports everything else you build. Now, let's talk about strategic planning, and that's the third pillar. Most business owners confuse activity with strategy. They're busy, but they're not strategic. They're working hard, but not necessarily on the right things. Strategic planning means having a clear 12-month business and cash flow forecast that shows exactly where your revenue will come from, what your expenses will be, and how much cash you'll need when. And this isn't about predicting the future perfectly. It's about having a roadmap that guides your decisions and helps you spot problems before they become a crisis. Tells you when it's cloudy, not when it's raining. I can't tell you how many business owners tell me they were surprised by their tax bill or didn't see a cash flow crunch coming. These aren't surprises if you have proper forecasting in place. When you have a rolling business and cash flow forecast, you'll see that you'll need additional working capital in month 6. You will know what you can and cannot afford and the impact of the future seasonal dips. The fourth pillar is mindset mastery. This might be the most important pillar of all. Your business will never outgrow your personal development. Your company's growth is limited by your growth as a leader. Mindset mastery includes confident decision-making, which we covered last week, but it also includes time management, stress management, and what I call CEO thinking. You know, most business owners think like employees, not CEOs. They focus on tasks instead of results, on being busy instead of being productive, on working in the business instead of working on the business. CEO thinking means asking different questions, like, what's the highest value activity I could be doing right now? What problems am I solving that someone else could solve? What opportunities am I missing because I'm focused on operations instead of strategy? Let me give you a concrete example. So a financial advisor who is spending 15 hours per week on administrative tasks, scheduling appointments, sending follow-up emails, preparing basic reports, his time was worth $300 per hour in client-facing activities, but he was doing $15 to $30 an hour work. He calculated that those 15 hours of admin work were costing him $4,275 per week in opportunity cost. That's over $200,000 a year. He hired a virtual assistant for $25 an hour to handle the admin work, freeing him up to focus on client relationships and business development. And his revenue increased by $180,000 in the following year, while his stress decreased dramatically.
Yeah, Michael, I think business owners are all about stress management, right, and reduction.
Right.
So look, these foundation elements seem interconnected, Michael, the more we sort of just think about this. How do they all work together to create business transformation?
Yeah, that's a great observation, Chuki. You know, these 4 pillars create what I call a success amplification system, because each pillar reinforces the others. Financial clarity gives you the data to make better decisions, which improves your decision frameworks. Better decisions lead to more effective strategic planning. Better planning reduces stress and builds confidence, which enhances the mindset mastery. And stronger mindset leads to better overall management. It's a positive feedback loop where each improvement makes every other area more effective. But here's the key. You must have all 4 pillars in place before moving to phase 2. I've seen too many business owners try to implement revenue acceleration strategies without solid foundations, and it always ends up in frustration. You can't scale chaos. You can't amplify dysfunction. You can't accelerate a business that doesn't have solid systems and clear thinking. Think of phase 1 as building the engine of a race car. You wouldn't try to win races with a poorly tuned engine, no matter how good your driving skills are. The same principle applies to business. Get your foundation right, then accelerate.
So, Michael, before we end this segment, what's one specific action item that listeners can take away and really start to implement this week?
Well, Chuki, you got to start with that vital five financial numbers. This week, sit down with your bookkeeper, CFO, or accountant, or whoever, and make sure you know your exact sales, gross profit percentage, net profit, and your current cash balance on a consistent basis, meaning daily. Understand those numbers. If you can't get, and the reason is it leads to better decision making. Every single one, because when something is off, you research it and then you figure out how to fix it. If you can't get these numbers quickly and accurately, that tells you everything you need to know about the state of your financial foundation. Fix that first, then move to the other pillars. And before we continue, let's take a 90-second break.
Hey there, business owners. Let me ask you something. Are you tired of blending in with your competitors? Frustrated with slow growth and slim margins? Well, I've got news for you. Everything you've ever learned about growing your business is wrong. But don't worry. I'm here to let you in on a secret weapon, your position of market dominance. It's what sets you apart, makes you irreplaceable, and has customers lining up at your door. My name is Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO. I know what you're thinking. Sounds great, Michael, but how do I find my position of market dominance? Well, that's exactly why we've created our game-changing implementation program called Next Step to Market Dominance. In just 90 days, we'll guide you step by step to a position of market dominance by uncovering your unique strengths that competitors can't touch, by crafting a message that resonates deeply with your ideal customer, by building a strategy that turns you into the go-to expert in your field. Now, this isn't theory. These are battle-tested strategies that have helped businesses like yours double, triple, and quadruple their revenue. Don't let another quarter go by struggling to stand out. It's time to dominate your market, period. Go to nextstepcfo.net/contact, fill out the form, and in the message section, put the word dominate. Or call us at 781-326-3822. That's nextstepcfo.net/contact, or call us at 781-326-3822.
Welcome back to Powerful Business Strategies. And remember, you can go to powerfulbusinessstrategies.com to catch any of the 50 episodes that we've done. So let's move to phase two. Phase two is called revenue acceleration. And this is where most business owners want to start. But as we discussed, it only works effectively when you have solid foundations in place. So phase two has three core strategies that work together to create immediate, sustainable revenue growth: position of market dominance, conversion formula, and strategic partnerships. And when implemented correctly, these three strategies can increase revenue by 50 to 200% or more within 12 months. So let's start with that position of market dominance, which is we've uncovered in previous shows, but is so critical, I want to revisit it here. Your position of market dominance makes you the obvious choice for your ideal customers by addressing the biggest problem that they have that they don't want and offering a solution they want that they just can't find elsewhere in the market. Most businesses try to do everything to everyone and end up doing nothing special to anyone. And so a strong position of market dominance makes you the only logical choice for a specific group of customers. So a roofing contractor was competing purely on price and constantly losing bids to cheaper competitors. And he developed this position of market dominance as the only roofing company that guarantees your roof will be completed in 5 days or less with zero mess left behind, or will pay you $500 for the inconvenience. This position addressed homeowners' two biggest concerns: project duration and cleanup. Within 6 months, he was winning 70% of his bids instead of 30%. He was charging 15% more than his competitors because customers saw a clear value in his unique promise. The key to a powerful position of market dominance is that it must be specific, meaningful to your target customer, and difficult for your competitors to copy. It's not enough to say better service or higher quality. Those are meaningless platitudes that every business claims.
Michael, how do business owners identify the right position of market dominance for their specific industry?
Well, that's a great question, Chuki. See, the process has 3 steps. First, you have to identify your customer's biggest frustration with your industry. What do they complain about? What keeps them awake at night? What problems do they experience with your competitors? Second, Determine what solution they want but can't find. This often requires innovation. You may need to change how you deliver your service or add new elements to address their frustration. By the way, sometimes you don't. There's no question about it. We've implemented positions of market dominance without any structural change in the operation. Third is craft a message that clearly communicates how you solve their problem in a way that no one else does. For example, with that roofing contract, the homeowner's biggest frustrations were projects that dragged on for weeks and the mess that most contractors leave behind. And the solution they wanted was a fast, clean job, but no one in his market was promising both speed and cleanliness with a guarantee. So now let's talk about the conversion formula, which transforms your how you communicate with prospects and customers. The formula has 4 components: captivate, fascinate, educate, and close. And most business marketing fails because it only tries to captivate, get attention, but doesn't fascinate, educate, or provide an offer. They get people to notice them, but don't facilitate the decision-making process. Now, sometimes they captivate and make an offer, but that's just not enough. The captivate gets attention by addressing a problem or concern your prospect has. The fascinate promises that you have information that will help them make a better decision. The educate provides specific, valuable information that positions you as the expert solution. And the close, which is an offer that needs to be so compelling that the prospect can't turn it down. So, for example, you give them a risk-free way to take the next step. So, financial advisors, marketing was typical industry jargon, comprehensive financial planning for your secure future, boring and meaningless. He transformed his marketing using the conversion formula. The captivate was worried that your retirement savings won't last as long as you do. Fascinate. Discover the 3 critical mistakes that could destroy your retirement plans and how to avoid them. Educate. A free report showing specific strategies for protecting retirement income with real examples and case studies. And an offer was a complimentary 30-minute retirement security analysis with no sales pressure. His response rate increased by 400%, and his conversion rate from prospect to client increased by 150%. The third strategy is strategic partnerships, which allows you to leverage other businesses' customer bases, so to accelerate your growth without spending more in marketing. And the key to successful partnerships is finding businesses that serve the same ideal customers you do, but offer complementary rather than competing services. And when done correctly, strategic partnerships can be your fastest path to revenue growth. We have shows on every one of these strategies at powerfulbusinessstrategies.com. A landscaping company partnered with 3 home improvement contractors, 2 pool companies, and a fence installation business. So instead of spending thousands on advertising to find new customers, he received qualified referrals from his partners, from his partners' existing customer bases. And this arrangement was simple. Each partner referred customers who needed landscaping services, and he referred customers who needed their services. And within 18 months, 40% of his business came from partner referrals, and his customer acquisition costs dropped by 60%.
Yeah, I've got to say, Michael, and we're also getting some feedback from listeners just on this. This partnership approach sounds very powerful, but also potentially complex to set up. How do business owners identify and approach potential partners?
Well, Chuki, it's actually a lot simpler than most people think. You start by listing all the other services your ideal customers typically need before, during, or after working with you. For example, if you're a wedding photographer, couples also need catering. They also need flowers. They need venues. They need music, dozens of other services. And if you're a business attorney, your clients need accounting, insurance, marketing, and technology services. Just make a list of the best providers of these complementary services in your market, and then approach them with a simple proposition. My customers often need your services, and your customers probably sometimes need mine. What if we set up a formal referral relationship? Now, most business owners are receptive to this because It costs them nothing and provides value to their customers. But the key is starting with informal referrals to build that trust and then formalizing the relationship once you've proven it works. We have a whole show on this because there's an extensive approach on how to go about this. But here's what's crucial about phase two. These three strategies must work together. Your position of market dominance informs your conversion formula messaging. Your conversion formula creates qualified leads for your partners to refer, and your partnerships provide more prospects to convert using your formula. It's an integrated system, not individual tactics. When all three strategies work together, the results are exponential rather than simply additive. And let me give you a real example of this integration. A dental practice developed a position of market dominance. The only dental practice that guarantees same-day emergency appointments and pain-free procedures, or your visit is free. Their conversion formula captivated with tired of dental practices that make you wait days for emergency appointments and use painful procedures from the 1990s. They fascinated with discover how modern dentistry can eliminate both waiting and pain from your dental experience, and they educated with detailed information about their emergency protocols and pain-free techniques. They offered a complimentary consultation and cleaning with their pain-free guarantee. And for strategic partnerships, they partnered with family physicians, orthodontists, and oral surgeons who served the same patients but didn't compete directly. The results? Well, revenue increased 85% in 18 months. New patient acquisition increased by 120%, and patient satisfaction reached the highest levels in the practice's history.
Man, these results are impressive, Michael, but I imagine that some listeners and business owners on the line here are wondering about the time frame for phase two. I mean, how long does that revenue acceleration phase take?
Well, phase two typically takes somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 to 9 months to fully implement and optimize. But here's the important part. You start seeing results within 30 to 60 days. Month 1 to 2, you develop and test your position of market dominance. Month 3 and 4, you implement and optimize your conversion formula. Month 5 and 6, you establish strategic partnerships. Month 7 and 9, integrate all three strategies and optimize the system. Because the beauty of this phase is that each strategy begins generating results as you implement it. So you're building momentum throughout the process rather than waiting until everything is perfect.
Yeah, that's an excellent point about positive momentum. So, Michael, before we wrap up this segment, what's the biggest mistake that you think business owners make during the revenue acceleration phase?
Well, the biggest mistake is trying to implement all three strategies simultaneously without proper testing and optimizing each one. They develop a position of market dominance. They launch new marketing with the conversion formula and try to establish partnerships all at once. This creates confusion, it dilutes their focus, and makes it impossible to determine which strategy is working and which needs adjusting. You implement systematically. Perfect your position of market dominance first, then your conversion process, then your partnerships. Sequential mastery beats simultaneous mediocrity every single time. So before we continue, let's take a 90-second break.
Hey there, business owners. Let me ask you something. Are you tired of blending in with your competitors? Frustrated with slow growth and slim margins? Well, I've got news for you. Everything you've ever learned about growing your business is wrong. But don't worry. I'm here to let you in on a secret weapon. Your position of market dominance. It's what sets you apart, makes you irreplaceable, and has customers lining up at your door. My name is Michael Barbarita from Next Step CFO. I know what you're thinking. Sounds great, Michael, but how do I find my position of market dominance? Well, that's exactly why we've created our game-changing implementation program called Next Step to Market Dominance. In just 90 days, we'll guide you step by step to a position of market dominance by uncovering your unique strengths that competitors can't touch, by crafting a message that resonates deeply with your ideal customer, by building a strategy that turns you into the go-to expert in your field. Now, this isn't theory. These are battle-tested strategies that have helped businesses like yours double, triple, and quadruple their revenue. Don't let another quarter go by struggling to stand out. It's time to dominate your market, period. Go to nextstepcfo.net/contact, fill out the form, and in the message section, put the word dominate. Or call us at 781-326-3822. That's nextstepcfo.net/contact, or call us at 781-326-3822.
Welcome back to Powerful Business Strategies. And so now we move to phases 3, 4, and 5. Operational excellence, market dominance, and legacy building. These phases transform a successful business into a truly exceptional enterprise that dominates its market and creates lasting value. So let's start with phase 3, operational excellence. By this point, you have solid foundations and growing revenue, but growth without operational excellence creates chaos. And you need systems that allow you to scale efficiently without proportional increases in complexity and stress. So operational excellence actually has 4 core components: process systemization, team optimization, technology leverage, and quality assurance. So process systematization means documenting and optimizing every critical business process so they can be performed consistently by anyone on your team. And this includes everything from how you answer the phone, to how you deliver your service, to how you follow up with customers. So a home remodeling company was growing rapidly, but constantly dealing with project delays, customer complaints, and stressed employees. And the problem wasn't a lack of skill, it was a lack of systems. She systemized their entire operation, standardized project timelines, documented quality checklists, created customer communication protocols, and established vendor management procedures. And the result was project completion time improved by 30%, customer satisfaction scores increased by 40%, employee stress decreased significantly, and the owner was able to step back from day-to-day operations for the first time in 10 years. Team optimization means having the right people in the right roles and clear expectations and accountability systems. This includes the hiring process that attract A players, training programs that develop their skills, and performance management systems that ensure consistent results. Many business owners try to solve people problems with process improvements or process problems with better people. But operational excellence requires both exceptional people and exceptional processes working together. Technology leverage means using automation and digital tools to eliminate manual work, reduce errors, free up human talent for the high-value activities. And this doesn't mean buying every new software that comes along. It means strategically implementing technology that solves specific operational problems. And let me make just one other point. I think every business owner really has to really dig deep into AI, artificial intelligence, because it's coming, and the technologists are implementing things with incredible speed. Even I know that someday in our practice, we're going to be selling AI agents to businesses, and that's like less than a year away. And so and believe me, a year is a very small period of time.
Yeah.
Just ask Red Auerbach when he drafted Larry Bird as a junior, which was highly unusual at the time. All the general managers asked him, why on God's green earth would he hire a junior? Would he draft a junior? And number one, by the way. And he said, do you know how short a period of time a year is? And of course, Red Auerbach's patience paid off because Larry Bird won 3 championships on, of course, for the Celtics. So, and quality assurance means having systems that catch problems before they reach customers and ensure consistent delivery of your brand promise. And this includes inspection processes, customer feedback systems, and continuous improvement protocols. So as we bring our final show to a close, I want to leave you with the most important insights from our entire journey together. First, everything you've been taught about business growth in the past is wrong because most advice focuses on tactics instead of systems. Random tactics create random results, but systematic implementation of proven strategies creates predictable, sustainable success. Second, the ultimate business transformation blueprint works because it follows natural business development patterns. Can't skip phases or implement them out of order. Foundation building enables revenue acceleration, which enables operational excellence, which enables market dominance, which enables legacy building. Third, the difference between struggling business owners and highly successful ones isn't intelligence, luck, or resources. It's having and following a proven system of success. It's having and following a proven system because success is a process,
Yes,
not an accident. Fourth, the biggest barrier to business transformation isn't lack of knowledge, it's lack of implementation. See, most business owners know what they should do. They just don't do it systematically and persistently, and they don't do it in the right order. Fifth, business transformation is a journey, not a destination. Even after completing all 5 phases, successful business owners continue optimizing, they continue innovating, and they continue growing. The blueprint gives you the framework for that continuous improvement. But here's what I want every listener to understand. The blueprint only works if you work it. Knowledge without implementation is worthless, just like we said at the beginning. The best system in the world won't help you if you do not use it. So here's my final challenge to everyone listening. Don't let this be just another business show you listened to and forgot. Don't let this be just more information that you never act on.
Yeah.
Use one phase. Start with the phase 1. If you need solid foundations, or start with phase 2 if your foundations are solid, and commit to implementing it completely over the next 90 to 120 days. Don't try to do everything at once. Don't skip steps. Don't make excuses. Just pick one phase and execute it with complete focus and commitment. Your business, your family, and your future depend on the actions that you take, not the knowledge you accumulate.
Michael, this has been an incredible journey, just digesting all these insights, and compliments to you on your professional and executive persistence and consistency. I really must say that. So for listeners who want to continue working with you and getting access to these insights beyond the show, what's the best way to connect with Next Step CFO?
Well, Chuki, for the first 3 lucky listeners, I'm going to give them access to my proprietary platform and show them how to increase their revenue a minimum of $100,000 without spending any additional money on marketing or ads.
Wow.
And to schedule that access, go to www.nextstepcfo.net/contact. Fill out the contact form, and in the message box, type 100K. We would love to meet you. So that's www.nextstepcfo.net/contact. Fill out the contact form, and in the message box, type 100K. We would love to meet you and show you how to get that money into your own bank account. So thank you for joining us in this incredible journey with Powerful Business Strategies. Remember, everything you've ever learned about growing your business is wrong, but now, through our 50 shows on powerfulbusinessstrategies.com, you know what's right. The question is, What are you going to do with this knowledge? So Chuki and I want to thank you all for joining us on this incredible journey with Powerful Business Strategies. And while this marks the end of our Powerful Business Strategies radio show, I'm excited to announce that our mission to help business owners continues. I'll be joining the highly rated Positively Pipe Man show on the same station, W4CY.com, iHeartRadio, for a regular 15-minute segment on Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, where we'll continue sharing these powerful business strategies and to more people. On Positively Pipe Man, we'll dive deep into specific implementation tactics and more strategies that the competition isn't doing. Make sure to tune in and stay connected with our ongoing mission to help you build the business of your dreams.
Brilliant. That is fantastic news, Michael. So listeners won't actually have to say goodbye, completely, right? They can continue learning from you on Positively Pipe Man, correct?
That's exactly right, Chuki. And the education continues, the transformation continues, and our commitment to helping business owners achieve time freedom and consistent profits continues. And for those who want to continue the journey with us, tune into Positively Pipe Man on W4CY.com, iHeartRadio, Mondays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So this may be the end of Powerful Business Strategies as a standalone show, but it's just the beginning of an even bigger mission to transform businesses across America. Until we meet again, whether it's on Positively Pipe Man or in your journey to business transformation, keep growing, keep implementing, and keep building the business and life you've always dreamed of. And remember, don't keep doing what your competition is doing.
You have been listening to Powerful Business Strategies, finding out that everything you ever learned about growing your business is wrong. Tune in next week and every week at noon Eastern Time on W4CY Radio with your host, Michael Barbarita of Next Step CFO and moderator Chuki Obiyo.